The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Thanks to our friends over at La Terrain Watches for sponsoring Time to BS podcast. Use the promo code Time to BS at LaTerrain.com for some sweet deals over on the website. That's time, the number 2, and BS at LaTerrain.com.
It's time to BS.
Who pays $40 for a cup? Yes. One of those great questions that we ask ourselves from time to time. What's the next stupid trend that's going to happen? It's like Heelys all over again. Anyway, we're coming to you from the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York, and part of Belly Up Sports and the Belly Up Media Network. It's time to BS, and I'm Staniel Smooth. Brought to you by our friends over at DraftKings. Go to dkng.co/bellyup150 to get $200 off when you bet $5 or more with DraftKings. SeatGeek, use the promo code BellyUpSports at all caps at SeatGeek.com to get $20 off your first purchase. Support our friends over at Hardway Barbershop and Hot Chicken Mama, located at Long Island's Hidden Gem over in Blue Point, New York. And finally, support the lads at U Stadium, so go download the app and talk to some great sports fans. So I was sitting around here, minding my own business, just enjoying my night. About to post episode 204, which is what I'm currently recording right now, when all of a sudden, on his valiant, noble white steed, we have breaking news from the delightful Smooth Report. The New York Islanders have fired head coach Lane Lambert. After 1.5 seasons on Long Island, the Lane train has left the station. See, unlike Pete Carroll, I actually have quite a bit of resentment. That's not even the right word. I think sympathy would be this word. Again, but it's not even the right word to describe how I feel. With Pete Carroll, I had anger for about 7.5 years. With Lane Lambert, I thought, okay, patience is the key here. Patience is key. The fan base thought otherwise. Don't blame them. When you had back-to-back appearances in the conference finals, missed the playoffs the next year, fire Barry Trotz, losing the first round of the playoffs the next year, and you were at one point second in your division, and now you have tumbled, and I mean straight up tumbled, to like third to last place in the Metropolitan Division. Now, however, if you actually look into everything, you're tied with New Jersey, who's right behind Washington by 1 point, with 50. Then the Carolina has 55 points. Then it's Philadelphia, and then the Rangers. Realistically, you can bounce back, which is understandable why fan base would get frustrated. Now, on the bright side here, the offense has been clicking. The defense, not so much, but the offense has been clicking. And hey, Noah Dobson, we like that. Noah Dobson clicking is nice. But I understand why a coaching change would be needed. Now, I'm not going to give you the generic gas baggy tone and say, oh, the Islanders made a mistake, blah, 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 blah. It's like, no. If you want to make a cup run, let's start off small. If you want to make a run for the playoffs and eventually make a run in said playoffs, you should probably make a change. Oop, there's a microphone. Which is where the new head coach of the New York Islanders comes into play. Enter Patrick Waugh. You might know him. Four-time Vezina Trophy winner. I think he's a three-time Stanley Cup champion. Twice with the Avalanche, once with Montreal. He's an Avalanche legend. He was also, ironically enough, the former head coach over in the Mile High City. Won the Jack Adams Award, I think, and his former goaltender, current backup goaltender, Semyon Varlamov for the New York Islanders, was second in Hart Trophy votes for the league MVP at one point. I could be wrong with that. But he's a fiery coach, fiery personality, always has been from his career going forward. And then Lou Lamoriello is just quiet. Crickets. Quiet. Do I think this could work? Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Let's see where this goes. Do I think that this could also be an unmitigated disaster? You never know, but the bright side of this whole thing is that he's not the interim head coach. He's the full-on replacement head coach. Full-blown. No interim tag. Nothing. Now, we'll obviously see where the road takes this team. Could take them far. Could take them virtually fucking nowhere. At this point, you never know. But I mentioned the offense before. Bo Horvat's on pace to score 40. Brock Nelson's going to score 40. Anders Lee could score 30. Matt Barzal is going to score 30. Noah Dobson might score 30, depending on how his pace is going to go. Kyle Palmieri is going to get 20. Like, the hell. Simon Holmstrom is on pace for 20 goals before he hit a wall. Like, they can score goals. Their roster is one of the best in the Eastern Conference. If you actually look top to bottom, yeah, it's not the sexy names like Connor McDavid or Sidney Crosby or the grade 8 Alex Ovechkin, but it's a pretty good fucking roster. I'm not saying that they're Stanley Cup material. I'm saying if they want to win a cup, change had to be made, which it's Lou. Devils fans know that Lou was going to make a change at some point. By God, he did. I'm very excited because, well, for one, as I'm recording this, I'm going to be going to the game against Dallas tomorrow. So this could be very interesting on how this team decides to respond to their coach getting fired and then replaced with Patrick Waugh. Patrick Waugh also hasn't coached in the NHL in the big leagues in some time. So this could be, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't have the answer to anything. I'm just some dude behind a microphone who just so happens to just have a good time. Have a good time with this shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't try to be anything else but myself. I'm not trying to make predictions anymore. I'm not trying to just say like, oh, I think this is going to go well. I'm here for the ride. So I'm excited as a fan. I'm excited for the change. I'm excited for Patrick Waugh to really see what he can do as the head coach of the New York Islanders. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. I've gone back and forth about who do I think would be the next head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. Speaking of coaching changes, my two teams that have had a very interesting 2 weeks. For one, Pete Carroll has been let go, and now, as of recording this, some 7 hours ago, Lane Lambert got fired by the wow, just horrible speech. Breathe. Anyway, the Seahawks are still looking for a new head coach. I'm not going to talk about the playoffs because I don't want to make any playoff predictions. I'm not making any Super Bowl picks until the actual game arrives. Hurts my head. But if I were to make a prediction on who do I think would be the next head coach for the Seahawks, my money is on either Dan Quinn or Mike McDonald, the Ravens defensive coordinator. One name that has been thrown around on the confines of bullshit and stupidity has been Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator, and a hidden gem is Texans offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick. I hope I pronounced that name right. Don't know who he is. He was one of the coordinators or the assistant coaches on the RG3 Washington teams. So that's exciting. We'll get to RG3 in a bit. But, I don't know, man. Over the last couple weeks, I've been going back and forth about, hey, who do I think is a good hire for the Seahawks? Derp, I don't fucking know. You're asking the wrong questions for me, bro. You're asking the wrong dang questions. Who do I think? I don't know, because I'm not the one making the decisions. Who should they hire? I still don't know, because I don't make the decisions around here. I'm just some dude behind a microphone who just happens to talk some crap. That's what you get. Get what you get, bitch. You don't get upset. So, I want to talk about something. I mentioned RG3. He's had some really big Twitter beef with his former head coach, Jay Gruden. Basically, I'm going to sum up the entire conversation with Jay Gruden saying Kirk Cousins was better than you. Technically, he's right. RG3 has not been electric since his rookie season, despite him tearing his ACL in 2 spots. The second he tore his knee, his career was toast. It was never the same, was never going to be the same, and if he still thinks he's a top-tier NFL quarterback, sorry, dude. Get your butt out of here. You're lying. Why the fuck you lying? That's terrible. Two bad buzzers in a row. What's next? Tough crowd. All right. I've had a lot on my mind, guys. I've had a lot on my mind. Which is nice because, you know, I like to do these a lot more freely. Dan, what's your podcast schedule? I don't have one. I really don't. I pretty much write down topics that I think would be fun to talk about, and I just hit record and done. That's it. If it's a 15-minute podcast, so be it. It's what I like to do. It's my hobby. I like to have fun with it. Do you know what a Nantucket sleigh ride is? It actually means 3 things. 1, it's a great song by a really good band from the 70s in Mountain when music was actually really good. Dan criticizes today's music? Shame on him. Shame. Even though he's actually right. Music today sucks. Yes, Nantucket Sleigh Ride is a great song by Mountain from 1972. But the actual term, quick little history lesson for you, it means when you're in the back of a wooden boat and you harpoon the back of a whale. The whale takes you for a ride. It's from the old days of whaling back here in the Northeast. Yes, That used to exist, PETA. No, not so much. I mean, you gotta find it in Japan, but that's about it. The third meaning, it's called when you rail a fat chick from behind. How I don't have an Old Spice sponsorship yet? No idea. I'm gonna be really careful when I talk about this next topic. I don't know how much I'm gonna get away with it on TikTok, but I'll try to post it on YouTube and then on Rumble when I get the chance. But fucking OnlyFans. There's been an ongoing debate. First of all, it's been all over Twitter. It's all over Instagram. It's all over Threads now. It's like people are promoting their sex work business like it's free candy or some shit. I'm not necessarily for it, but I'm not against it. Because if you feel that comfortable showing the goods on the internet, good on you, dog. Good on you. I do not judge in this particular department, nor do I particularly care. Do I know a few people that do OnlyFans? Yes, I do. Do I support it? Yeah, because they're friends. The people I know. Am I against it? I'm neither for nor against it. Just, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't bother me. It's not hurting anyone. It's not illegal. Kind of. I don't know. Hard to tell. It's one of those great mysteries, you know what I'm saying? But that's just my views on it. Anyway, we're going to take a quick little break. Go for some ad reads. I'll be back in a couple minutes, guys. So, stand tight. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. My name is Staniel Smooth, and this is Time to BS. What's up, everyone? Staniel Smooth here. I wanted to show you guys a cool thing we're doing. This podcast is sponsored by Canada Dips, the newest lineup to the dip game, but in CBD form. The Canada Dips lineup features products made for every man's lifestyle. All tins are proudly crafted from the hills of Humboldt County in California. It's filled with flavor and will give you that good vibe that CBD brings to the room. So what are you waiting for? Use the promo code BELLYUP20 in all caps at CanadaDips.com for 20% off your next order. That's BELLYUP20 at CanadaDips.com.
It's time to BS. Transcontinental halfwits. It is the next morning as I'm recording this, and my donut coffee cup. It's a nice morning out here on Long Island. Except if you're James Dolan, the owner of the Knicks. Well, majority owner of the Knicks. Let's be real with this here. Speaking of which, James Dolan of Massapequa, Long Island, which I did not know was from there until 2 days ago. James Dolan is being investigated for SA and trafficking to Harvey Weinstein. If you know that name, you know what my thoughts are on this guy is. James Dolan has been a genuine no-good piece of human dog shit for the better part of 20 years. He does not care for the Knicks. For some reason, he cares for the Rangers. But most of the time, doesn't give it two craps or two French fried titty fucks about the Knicks, even though they are his most profitable franchise between the two of them. Don't believe me? The Rangers and the Knicks are the two highest grossing franchises in their respective leagues. Don't believe me? Google's right there. But this is not about James Dolan. No, this is about Massapequa. In fact, the majority of Long Island. I've had years to think about this. Just think about my hatred for Massapequa. The people, I think, if you prove me wrong, some people there are pretty cool. I mean, you never know. But Massapequa, and filled with the majority of their citizens being divorced realtor housewives in their fake-ass blonde hair, way too expensive Starbucks drinks in one hand, their pocketbook in their other, filled with their pocketbook dogs, and they drive their Mercedes-Benz vehicles that drive 20 miles under the speed limit. By the way, every single one of those ladies has their hair looking like the Long Island Medium or Karen. You know that hairstyle. They live in their way too expensive fucking houses that they get from the money of their, let's be real, their divorced husband. Because they thought they're not good enough for me. By the way, the majority of Long Island is housing that's the size of a one-bedroom apartment and being charged for the price of a beach house. I say this as I live in a one-bedroom apartment. The nicest part, by the way, of Long Island is a majority of the East End, which is like Montauk, the Hamptons, Greenport, Orient Point. Which, by the way, it seems a lot of people go to Montauk. I haven't been to Orient Point yet, which is amazing because I lived here all my life. But the East End mostly consists of farmland, great beaches, nice houses, and good towns, and quite honestly, the nicest human beings in the entire state of New York. Which is all sorts of hilarious to me. Because it's amazing what happens when you treat people with kindness. And actually don't give a fuck about who they are as a person. And just say, oh, how you doing? Good to see you. How's the wife? How's the kids? How's the husband? Blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, nice parade you're going to there. That's awesome. Good for you. Actually give a shit. It ain't hard. Instead of just going, your Heelys look off-centered. Fuck you. It's not even a real insult. Or, why are your sunglasses tinted? Fuck you. By the way, Massapequa. Don't believe me about the houses part of it. Just go to Merrick Road in Massapequa and Massapequa Park. And just go south. Down every side street imaginable. Long Island, by the way, is the easiest to tell, which is north, south, east, and west. But the easier way to do it is sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Literally, that's it. And then just find north and south from there. This ain't hard. Don't believe me? Google's right there on your phone. Speaking of phone. Massapequa, there's really not a lot to do there anyway. I mean, there's good pizza. That's what they call Massa Pizza for a reason. By the way, Alec Baldwin's from Massapequa. Again, Google. All-American Burgers there, too, which is, pretty good burger joint. Kind of overrated, to be honest. I've had better burgers from local bars. Shout out to Howard's Cafe in Patchogue. Nassau County as a whole is a shithole. It really is. It really is a shithole. I don't know. Most of Long Island consists of beaches. Hi, Donut. Consists of beaches, industrial area, more beaches, farmland, and then city folk. By the way, let's talk about Manhattan. Let's talk about the 5 boroughs of New York City. Don't go there. Just don't go there. But New York is the most beautiful place in the world. Yeah, unless you live here. I'm going to keep upstate out of there because, that's a whole different state, basically. And, we keep their kind where they are because they don't want to be bothered. They're like tigers. Just don't bother them. And they won't maul you to death. Not literally, just, figuratively speaking, of course. Montauk's nice. That's easy. We like Montauk. Montauk is pretty. Montauk is very pretty. I don't know, I'm from Blue Point, so I really can't say shit. I mean, I have the beaches right in my backyard. Basically. What else? Long Beach, not to be confused with Long Beach, California, but Long Beach, Long Island. Neat little area. It's not nice. It's not unpleasant, though. Yeah, there's some good spots there. You know who could really speak to Long Beach about this? Kyle. Kyle really could. He really could speak to his mind about Long Beach. What else? I don't know. It's just this whole segment of trash and Long Beach. Massapequa as a whole just needs to go fuck themselves. It's a crap show area. Filled with mostly shitty people. Food's good. Other than that, I have no complaint. That's pretty much it. Every single citizen of Massapequa is the same. The divorced housewife cliche. With their way too big of sunglasses and their fur coats and shit. That's just my overall thoughts. I think I found a groove with this. Maybe. Right, just stop recording in between. Don't go to constant breaks for ads and stuff like that. Make one big smooth show. Just have some fun. Anyway, TNA's back. TNA Wrestling. That's exciting. You're a wrestler? You're a wrestling fan? So don't listen. Why do you have to ruin my fun? I'm having fun. Let me have my fun, dog. No one is saying anything else other than you. Because you're cruel to yourself. So you treat everyone like dog shit. I just went to a really dark place. We don't like these things. We don't like that. Anyway. This is fun. I like doing these things. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Staniel Smooth. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Time to BS with Staniel Smooth. I appreciate you all for tuning in for the ride. Don't forget to support our friends over at U Stadium, Belly Up Sports, the Belly Up Media Network. Follow the show on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at Time to BS Podcast. Follow me on those 3 platforms at Staniel Smooth. My name is the great, powerful Staniel Smooth. I'm coming to you from the lovely beaches of Long Island, New York. And I'll see you all in this life for the next one. Cheers, guys. Have yourself a good one.